Okay, folks, well, we have not yet been officially dispatched, as in I have not gotten the official word from my dispatcher, but we did get and, well, there it comes. We are going to Tobyhanna, Pennsylvania to pick up a load. It's a Lowe's to Lowe's. We're picking up at Lowe's and we're dropping off at Lowe's. We are picking up in, like I said, Tobyhanna, Pennsylvania, which is 92 miles a deadhead from here in Newark, New Jersey. And then we are taking that load to Plainville, Massachusetts, which is 300 miles up into Massachusetts. It looks like it's about halfway between Boston and Providence. Haven't been there. I don't think I've been there. It's possible I've been there. I've been to a few Lowe's distribution centers, so maybe. But the pickup is west of here, and then we'll be going across I-84 pretty much the whole way. So our pickup time's at 4 p.m. It is 1:45 right now. We've got, how much time do we have left on our clock for today? We've got 5.5 hours of drive time left. So we got plenty of time to get there and start making tracks towards our delivery. I'll see you guys soon. And not a moment too soon, because there's another truck just about to get in here. Let's get the GPS fired up so we can get out of his way. Watch out for that post over there on the right side, but I think we can clear it. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Okie dokie. See y'all soon. Alright, Beavis. Scrotum. I'm a naughty boy. Passing through a little town called Scotland. But every time I see the sign, I want to say scrotum. I am the great Cornholio. I need TP for my scrotum. I am Cornholio. I need TP for my bunghole.
After 800 feet, you will reach your waypoint. The waypoint will be on your left.
MF5, that's the place we're going to. The entrance makes it look like we're going to the airport over there.
You have reached your waypoint. It's on your left.
All trucks go right. They still got a little bit of snow here piled up. How's it going?
Pick up or delivery?
Pick up.
You been here before?
No, sir. Although if you've been to one, you've been to all of them.
So you have a 337 number, put that up here.
A 337?
At this section, I'll be out in a couple minutes, okay?
Okay.
You want to just pop the back door for me?
Sure.
So we're dropping 154 on the right hand side, parking there, vesting up, bring up that path over to the office. So short on the left.
154 on the right?
Yeah.
Alrighty. prime driver. Or any mega carrier, really, because this is all they really do, all day long, every day. Pick up and drop off trailers. And back into gigantic lots. I guess I feel like a Schneider driver, considering that's all they have here. Tight squeeze. Especially since Epi's over here on our line side decided to put his trailer right up on the line. Slide of tandems. Funny thing is, with all these Schneider trailers here, we didn't get our load from Schneider. We got it from JB Hunt.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Well, a little update, folks. We have been here 4 hours. I just went in and talked to him again. And the trailer's in a door. Before I went in and talked to him, I went and banged on the sides, because you can actually tell a lot of times when a trailer is loaded or when it's not, just by banging on the side of it. And if it kind of gives you a hollow sound, it's probably empty. And if it gives you just a thud, it's probably full. And I got a hollow sound. So I went in and talked to the lady, and she looked it up, and she looked kind of surprised that I'd been here for 4 hours. But apparently she looked it up in the computer, and they haven't even started loading it yet. So she basically just verified everything I already knew at that point, because I had banged on the side of the trailer. And I don't know how long it's going to take. Maybe the fact that I went and kind of said something might get it done quicker. Who knows? But at this point, our regular shift clock, the 14-hour clock, we've got only 40 minutes left on it. But I've still got 3 hours and something of drive time that I can use with a split sleeper. Obviously, we've been here for 4 hours. We're not going to get to our delivery tonight. I'm not even going to try to get to our delivery tonight, but I am going to have to move out of here because they don't allow overnight parking. I found a little truck stop not far from here. I'm going to try and head there once we get loaded. I'll have to use the split to get there on time, to be able to get there. And basically from the reviews, it's one of those spots that doesn't really fill up, because it's a small, out-of-the-way place. And we're not close to any really big cities. So we've got that going for us at least. But that's where we're at right now. See you soon. Okay, so it is 9:45. We've been here, well, we got here at 4 o'clock. So 5 hours and 45 minutes later, we're finally loaded. We're checked out, and there was a little gravel section to the side of the road just getting out of here. And I was able to creep up here and get us into a spot for the night. I'm gonna wake up early. I don't know how early, but get out of here and hopefully find some place to get a shower and get some breakfast. En route. See you in the morning. Would you believe it? The first time I've actually gotten into snow this year is in April. Good morning, folks. It's 4 o'clock. I actually set my alarm for 2 and slept right through it, or it didn't go off. One of the two, I'm not sure. I didn't hear it, and I didn't wake up, but I woke up on my own just a little bit ago, about 3:30. Pre-trip is done. We're ready to get out of here. I'll give you more from the road. But would you believe it? I have been out here since middle of January. Been up in the Northeast a whole bunch of times at this point, and the first time I see snow, I mean, obviously I've seen snow on the ground, but the first time I've seen snow actually coming down out of the sky is in April. And not even like the 1st of April. Like, it's April 9th today. I was not expecting snow. And it actually started snowing last night. Big, thick, wet flakes that we're coming down pretty hard. Whatever's out there, I mean, what's coming down now is kind of more of a light snow, but it's sticking to the ground. It stuck to my truck last night, but won't be an issue. But snow in April. All right, we got to get out of here. I got 4 hours. Actually, I guess I got closer to 6 hours of sleeping because I slept through my alarm. Which is not the 10 hours of rest, but we got 10 hours of rest. Our 10 hours was up at 2 a.m. because we sat at the shipper for 5.5 hours, give or take. And then we were able to just kind of creep over here to where we're at right now, which is just on the side of the street, going in and out of the shipper. Couldn't sleep on premises, of course, because, you know, heaven forbid. Apparently only the Schneider drivers are allowed to sleep overnight there. So that's what that is. Let's get out of here. We've got 200 and something miles to go. Theoretically, we can actually make it on time. We'll see. I'm not going to kill myself if I get too tired or it's just sketchy, then so be it. I've let my dispatcher know. He was like, but it's a 9 a.m. appointment. I said, I'm not killing myself for this load. They should have loaded me faster. And I did the math. In order to do a proper 10-hour reset, they would have had to have and get there on time. So 5 hours of driving plus a 10-hour reset, 15 hours work back from 9 a.m. appointment. They would have had to have finished loading me before 6 o'clock for me to get there on time. Normally, I'm just kind of taking advantage of the fact that we didn't really have to move too far, and I could creep. If I had to go to the truck stop, we would not be able to make it on time. So let's get rolling, shall we? way station, and the way station just happens to also be a rest area. I took advantage. Got some urgent business attended to. Let's get back on the road here. We are doing okay on time. As soon as the GPS updates here. Check this shit out. Okay. It's not as bad as it looks from the inside of the truck, but it's still pretty bad. I think we were about 100 miles still from our fuel stop, and then I don't know exactly how far it is past that, but not a whole lot. We've got the sun straight in my face here. Be there about 8:30. Lost a little bit of time because I stopped in to a pilot with the intention of using the facilities and grabbing some breakfast. And unfortunately, their bathrooms were all out of order, and their breakfast selection was extremely limited. But so way station / rest stop, made use of it. My guess, let's see, we got 100 miles still to get to fuel, and past that another 55 miles to get to our destination, so we're going to be a little bit late. Probably get there about 9:30. If they give us crap about that, I will be so pissed, because we're literally only carrying 40 pieces, not 40 pallets, not 40 pieces, and it took them 6.5 hours to load it. And it's going Lowe's to Lowe's, so if they give me crap about missing my appointment when it took them 6.5 hours to load 40 pieces weighing a grand total of 3,000 pounds, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna have to say something, because that's bullshit. So I don't think we're gonna make it on time. We're going through Hartford, Connecticut right now, and it's 8 a.m. and we are in rush hour traffic, which surprisingly is not all that awful compared to some of the places you go to, and the rush hour is literally you just sit there for minutes at a time and then move forward a couple of feet and then repeat. I mean, we're not making great time, but we're above 25 miles an hour so far. I don't think we've gone below 25 miles an hour except for maybe once. So, could be worse. It's obviously congested and it's slow, but it could be worse. But GPS is telling me we won't be there till 9:30. I went ahead and I have made an executive decision to skip our fuel stop. We're still at a half a tank. We're only carrying 3,000 pounds. And we only got 100 miles to go. We don't need the fuel to get there. And I'm just going to make it my dispatcher's problem to find us fuel on the next trip. I don't really care what he thinks about that. I let him know last night after I was loaded that I was loaded, and that a 9 a.m. delivery was probably not going to happen. He's like, well, but the appointment's at 9. I said, well, I don't care. It's they took 6.5 hours to load me. It's 9:30 at night. I've got 250 miles or 200 something miles to drive tomorrow, and I got to get some sleep. You know, I told him I'd do my best, and technically, what we're doing right now is legal, because I was able to creep out of the shipper and park on the side of their driveway, basically, without restarting my clock. But I did not get 10 hours of sleep. I didn't get 10 hours of rest. Which is what you're supposed to get. If I had to, I did the math, and I probably said this already once this video, but I'll say it again, just in case. I did the math. If you start with a 9 a.m. delivery time and work backwards, you've got 5 hours of driving. So that puts it at 4 a.m. that we would have had to start driving, and within a few minutes of that we did. About 4:15 we started driving. Now, because we're hitting rush hour, it's a little bit more than 5 hours. And the first 20 miles or so were basically back roads in the snow. I didn't say anything about that. I forgot to mention the snow that we were seeing where we were at was actually way worse on the road up to the interstate. There were actually quite a few stretches where the snow was covering the road, and of course we're a very light load, so I took it easy because I didn't want to lose traction, and we didn't. We were fine. But it slowed me down a lot. And so, you know, first 20 miles on snowy roads, back roads, and then rush hour here in Connecticut. We've lost probably about a half an hour off of my original estimate, so it's actually about a 5.5 hour drive, which puts us getting there at 9:30, even skipping the fuel stop. So, but anyways, 5.5 hours. Going back to doing the math, I was assuming 5 hours. It's turned out to be a little bit more than that. And 10 hours of rest, so you got 15 hours. Work backwards from 9 a.m. That basically means we would have had to have been loaded at 6 p.m. and out of there at 6 p.m. in order to get to our delivery at 9 a.m. assuming I could not find a place to sleep that I could creep to. So if I'd have had to leave out of there, drive to some place, a truck stop, rest area, or whatever, to find parking to sleep, we would have had to have left there at 6 p.m. We left at like 9:30, almost 10. So it was not going to happen. If we'd have had to take that route. Fortunately, I was able to creep and find and just park basically on site, even though it wasn't technically on site. And so we were able to essentially do a short night. I didn't get a full 10 hours of sleep, or I didn't get a full 10-hour break. I basically slept about 5 hours and hit the road. The other 5 hours of our 10 was spent sitting on their, sitting and waiting to get loaded. So I don't really care that we're getting there late. It is not my fault. I did my best. If the fact that we're getting there only 30 minutes late is amazing, considering how late we got loaded. But it is what it is. He better not give me crap about it. Otherwise, I may. Several of you have suggested that it might be time for me to move on. And I tend to agree with you, except for a couple of things. I have some plans in June that I want to take a week off in June, and my daughter has invited me to go with her to Alaska. Never been to Alaska, so I'm going to be handing in the keys one way or another in June to go to Alaska, and then after that I'm going to go down to Panama for a while. That means we've got the rest of April, May. We got 2 more months. I've just got to tough it out for 2 more months. I can do that. It sucks. I'm getting crappy loads, getting crappy settlement checks, but I'm surviving. I'm even putting money away, just not as much as I would like to. And I could do this for 2 more months, and then I'm going to take a much needed vacation, and when I come back it will not be to this company. I'm not going down with the ship. I'm using them, they're using me, and come into May, I'm washing my hands of them. And you know, I've walked away from this company multiple times, and I've come back, and I don't think I'll be back next time. I don't think I'll be back here again. I'll have to figure something else out. I've got to lease a truck. I need to lease a truck that is a good truck, that is my truck, that I don't have to wait for the company to figure out how to get it fixed. I need a little more control. And so when I come back from vacation, that's what I'm going to do. I just got to tough it out for 2 more months so that I can take my vacation, get my rest, and then come back here and lease a truck. Alright, turns out here I was thinking we were coming to a distribution center. It's a store. I didn't even bother to check the map. I don't even think my dispatcher realizes it, because when we were discussing being late last night, he was like, well, I don't know how they're going to work the fit-in situation. 9 a.m. appointment. Stores are a whole lot easier sometimes. sometimes they're kind of annoying because they only have usually one dock to work with, and they got trucks coming in and out of here all day long. You may be waiting a little bit for a dock to open up. And it's not like they work with strict appointments at stores. So it's kind of a first come, first serve type thing. Usually, sometimes they're kind of obnoxious about appointment times and things, but I don't know that I've ever been to a store, at least in recent memory, that's ever given me any kind of grief about when I was arrived. A lot of times they won't even know I'm coming. Distribution center will send something out and the store won't even know it's on its way. Or there will be a manager that requested something and didn't tell the warehouse guys. But we actually timed it just perfectly. There was a truck in this dock when we got here, but he was just pulling out. And he was probably here at 9. All right, let's slide those tandems. I'll show you what was in the back too. Tiny little load. That's all there was to it. It's like maybe a few appliances, not a whole lot to it. Oh, I'm way over. I need to move over more. There we go. Perfect. And boom. All right, guys. Well, that's it for this load and this video. As always, thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, please make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next stop.